Well, it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Alec, about 35, 40 degrees, somewhere in there. Lately we've had a couple pilots say that one of the PAPI lights on runway 13 is not working like it should. So since it's too nice of a day to sit inside, we're going to take advantage of the weather and see if we can troubleshoot it. Get a little present to our full-time airport ops guy who's on vacation this week. Have that crossed off his list when he comes back on Monday. So PAPI is short for Precision Approach Path Indicator. It's a set of 4 lights or series of lights off the left side of the runway typically that helps pilots judge if they're coming in on the right approach path or if they're too high on their final approach or if they're too low. They're used a lot in the daytime for students so they can kind of learn the feel of how high or how low do they need to be on their final approach, and they come in really useful at night because you lose a lot of depth perception at night. Oftentimes it's either a burnt out bulb or they're not calibrated right. Alexandria traffic, maintenance vehicle crossing runway 22 Alexandria. Because they have to be set at a certain angle. And then based on where your airplane's at in the sky, if you're too high, they're going to show all white lights. If you're too low, they're going to show all red lights. If you're right where you need to be, they're half and half. So I don't know if we have an issue with the angles, if they've gotten out of calibration, or if we have a burnt out light, but we'll see what we have.
The other night I went up with another pilot to give a visual demonstration in the video of how the PAPI lights work. You can see all 4 sets of white lights off to the left side of the runway, indicating that we're too high on our final approach. Now, the first set of lights closest to the runway should turn red first, but as you watch real close, right about now, that second light turns red. The first one does not until now that first one turns red. That should not be working like that. They should be going right to left in order as we descend.
So looking out ahead of me, you can see what we call the hold short line. You got a double solid line, and to the left of that you see we have a red sign with a 13 telling us we're about to enter runway 13. These hold short signs indicate where you enter the active runway. So at a controlled towered airport, you can't cross that line until you have clearance. At an uncontrolled airport like this, we'd make a radio call on our designated frequency, which is 123.0 megahertz, a couple bands above the FM radio frequency band, to let traffic know what we're doing. Now, if we look to my left, you can see the PAPI lights. Let's try to zoom in. There they are. So you can see we got 4 sets of lights. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a radio call. Then I'm going to turn those lights on. All the runway lighting here is controlled at night and during the daytime with pilot controlled lights. So you click it 3 times, you get low intensity, 5 for medium, 7 for high. Alexandria traffic, maintenance vehicle is going to be entering runway 13 Alexandria. I'm going to click it 7 times. Look at that. Our lights are on. Another reason I wanted to check these lights out today was that the winds are from the southwest favoring our runway 22 for the Alexandrians. That's the runway that comes in over Fillmore Park and the hospital, which tells me that people aren't going to be landing on runway 31 here. See, that would be Lake Winona down at the end of that. So that allows me to leave the truck on the runway. As you can see, I got the light on. I actually have a handheld radio in my pocket in case anyone calls that they're coming in. We're going to unclip these here. So you got the back 2 unclipped. We're going to go ahead, prop it up like this, bring it forward. Then people were reporting that when it should be showing red, it was showing white. So looking in here, we see that all 3 lights are working as they're supposed to be, which leads me to believe that it's an alignment issue. You can see how you have the red lenses only covering the top half, and then you got the white on the bottom. So it looks like we're going to have to get our handy dandy inclinometer out and see if it's out of calibration. One of the other things I'm looking for whenever I open these boxes up is checking these seals. You can see how they're nice and tight. There's no dirt, there's no bugs in them, nothing squishing them down. Sometimes you can get dirt or grime or bugs in there that causes issues with these PAPIs as well, but those are looking pretty clean. So these inclinometers have a different setting for each of the PAPI boxes you see there. So I got it set for this box number 1. place it on there. So, update. The inclinometer was exactly where it should be for both the vertical and the horizontal. So I'm a little stumped. All the lights are on. It's aligned, but something's still off. So I looked a little closer at these lights, and this lamp number 1 was being a little suspect. So I got a new light here. We're going to go ahead, change it out, and see if that works. Got PAPI light changed, turned it back on, and that first lamp is a lot brighter. That's way more on par with the other two. That one was pretty dim. Like I said, the filament looked a little suspect. So we'll give it a shot. I asked one of our local pilots that's up flying to see if they can do an approach to this runway and tell me if it is working appropriately. So now we just gotta wait to hear from them. Driving back to the ramp, kind of got a full weekend. Got a Embraer Phenom sitting out. You can see we got a King Air sitting in the hangar. There's a Citation behind that. Both the rental airplanes have been out all day. There goes Riley putting fuel in them. You got the UPS plane hanging out, waiting until Monday night to load up with packages. And I got a handful of planes for the maintenance shop sitting down there. So, for comparison, I have the one we just removed right here. And again, you can see how those coils are kind of stacked on top of each other. The filament itself is a little sagged. And what I have over here is a brand new one, which you have to be really careful not to touch the actual bulb part of it. But if you can compare it, look at those coils. They're not touching each other, and it's pretty erect. Again, if I can get them side by side for you to compare. Oof, there we go. So, again, don't know if that's the issue, but that's my hunch, and we'll see what our observer in the sky says when he comes back. Little flap, but we'll give it to you, Hunter. For your like second time flying that airplane. Did it work?
Yeah, it seemed to work.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Done. Thanks for watching.